Did you watch the All-American halftime show? Oh no, I just watched the halftime show. Why? 'Cause it's what was on between the second and third quarter. So you supported that Bad Rabbit guy? What's wrong with Bad Bunny? He doesn't speak English. I mean, he does. He speaks English and Spanish. How many languages do you speak? The only one that matters, English. Well, I don't speak Spanish and I thought it was fun. Oh, please. There's no way you enjoyed music you couldn't understand the words to. Wait, didn't your husband take you to the opera last year and didn't you love it? That's different. Right, you could enjoy 3 hours of songs in Italian, but 10 minutes of Spanish is a bridge too far. It's the principle. Football is an American sport. It should have an English halftime show. I know you guys have to find something to be outraged about every day. Oh, like you guys aren't always outraged? Yeah, we're outraged about people being murdered in the streets, not who's performing at the halftime show. You just don't care about the NFL getting political because it's your politics. That's the thing. The NFL wasn't getting political. You guys made it political. Oh, please. You don't think the NFL having a Puerto Rican who only sings songs in Spanish be the halftime show is political? Because of this administration's war on immigrants and the mass federal agents profiling Hispanics and throwing them into vans and shipping them off to foreign gulags, whether they're citizens or not. I suppose when you look at it through that lens, I can understand why you're a little triggered by it. It's not appropriate for the NFL to get political. The NFL wasn't making it political. You're making it political. The NFL has been trying to tap into the international market for years. What does that even mean? The NFL wants to expand. They want a more global footprint. They want other countries to have teams the way soccer does. So as much as you like Kid Rock, all of a sudden, go look at his Spotify. He only has like 5 million listeners a month. Bad Bunny has over 90 million listeners a month. They're trying to appeal to a broader audience. They're trying to expand. They're trying to make more money. You're a capitalist. Aren't you pro-business? You should be cheering this on. They're trying to tap into an international market so they could be more like soccer and have teams in other countries and we can go and play in other countries. They're trying to expand. It's not about politics. It's about business. And it was a good business decision. Whatever. I'm glad I watched the All-American halftime show. Well, I'm glad you had a safe space to go to.
Mind you, Bad Bunny doesn't even live in Puerto Rico. He lives in America.
First of all, and let me be very clear, a couple of blonde highlights are not going to convince the people that you align yourself with that you're white. Just in case you didn't already know. Girl, I'm half Puerto Rican. You look more Hispanic than I do. Oh my God. And second, you saying F Bad Bunny, degrading him and mocking him, all while wearing a cross, having a Bible verse in your profile picture, and the pinned video about being Catholic. I'm so sorry. Like, all of this says way more about you than it could ever say about him, right? Now that that's out of the way, with the Super Bowl approaching, let me remind everybody of something super, super basic, okay? Puerto Rico is a U.S. territory. One more time. Puerto Rico is a U.S. territory. An American citizen is performing at the Super Bowl halftime show. And you would think if you were going to sit down and hit record and scream about how you're watching the Turning Point Super Bowl halftime show, because you're pro-American, you would maybe do like 5 seconds of research. But apparently not, because this girl really said, and I need you guys to hear this, Bad Bunny doesn't even live in Puerto Rico. He lives in America. What? Let me say that again. He doesn't even live in Puerto Rico. He lives in America. This girl does not know that Bad Bunny is American. Jesus Christ. No child left behind my ass. Exhibit A of exactly who that policy failed. And lastly, just to make this crystal clear, like I said earlier, I'm half Puerto Rican. I'm the first generation on my dad's side that did not grow up on the island. That being said, to suggest that Bad Bunny isn't like beloved by Puerto Ricans or that his views don't align with Puerto Ricans is absolutely insane. The people in Puerto Rico love Benito, and he has always advocated for his island, whether that's politically, culturally, financially, and do not ever get that shit twisted, okay?
Bad Bunny was incredible for the Super Bowl halftime show. No one is surprised, but I do want to point out my favorite part being the fact that I didn't understand it. I had no idea what that man was saying like 98.4% of the time, and most of the references, most of the things that like were really cool and exciting went right over my head. Like, I just want to be honest, I don't know. I don't know much about the culture. I don't know much about the language. However, I loved it so much because it's such an incredible reminder that we don't have to understand things to celebrate it, let alone just let it exist and not judge it. Understanding another person, another language, another culture, like having that comprehension is so irrelevant most of the time. Like, we do not need understanding and like this full comprehensive knowledge as a prerequisite to just be human and like treat people with dignity and respect and integrity and see them as people who are deserving of as much as we are. This is especially true when it comes to people. I don't need to understand a person fully in front of me to believe them, to treat them with humanity, to trust them about their experience, to celebrate them, to like find joy and common humanity in our shared experience. Also, it's a great reminder that sometimes things aren't about you, and that's okay. Like, not everything is made for you and for your comfort and your consumption, and that's okay.
It was just announced that Bad Bunny is going to be this year's halftime show at the Super Bowl, and I have so many questions as to why.
I know, it's super exciting that he's going to headline the Super Bowl. What kind of questions do you got?
First of all, this individual doesn't even have any songs in English, so why would we have him be performing in America at one of the most popular events of the year?
Because Bad Bunny is American. He's from Puerto Rico. And I know this might be shocking to you, but not everyone in this country, or everyone that watches the NFL for that matter, speaks only English. Are you incapable of enjoying music unless it's in your own native language?
On top of the fact he's just vehemently anti-America, he hates our president, he advocates for the downfall of our civilization through the lack of enforcement in our laws just because it suits his narrative.
Bad Bunny is not anti-American. He is not against America. He is against what the current administration is doing, just like many of us are. Despite the narrative that Trump and you and all of MAGA like to push out there, being against the current administration does not mean you're anti-American. Just like you being against Biden and what he did not technically make you anti-American.
Please pay close attention to this.
All right, I'm paying attention.
Because the left's attacks are not always through violence, although of course there's been a huge uptick in that.
No, there hasn't.
But oftentimes it comes through a subversion of culture, and this is one of those prime examples. He was not selected by mistake. It was absolutely to make a political statement, especially if you look into who selects the halftime show. Well, it's Jay-Z.
Jay-Z's media company is involved in choosing the halftime show, but so is the NFL and multiple other groups. It's not just Jay-Z. And this is not political. This is financial. The NFL saw what happened when Taylor Swift became a part of the NFL. Women, little girls across the nation started caring about what was going on in the NFL, buying products, watching shows. That is what they were hoping to get. One of the largest musicians on the planet right now. They were trying to get more people to watch the NFL, because despite what your American exceptionalism is telling you, the NFL has been losing viewership for years, and they are trying to increase the excitement around their games, specifically the Super Bowl, and they are hoping that Bad Bunny will do that. I, for one, am excited to see Bad Bunny during the halftime show. I think it'll be a very interesting show.
What do you think is Bad Bunny's best song? To be honest with you, I don't know any of his songs, but I've become a fan of his the last couple of weeks because of all the that's been going on. I think, and the way he handled himself at the Grammys, I think was top notch, awesome, and much respect for him. And I hope he kills it at the halftime show. Puerto Rico is part of America. That's just it. And he's American. And the disrespect that he's had is just completely so I have much more respect for him now than I did before.
So beautiful. I love it. So beautiful. Muy bonito, muito lindo, gente. Estou emocionado. I'm so emotional. Tô emocionado, gente. Lindo. Perfeito. Eu não mudaria nada, assim. Incrível. Foi muito incrível, Benito. One of the best Super Bowl halftime shows of the history. I love it. It was perfect. so precious, incredible. Oh my god. Muy bonito, muy increíble. No, yo no tengo palabras para decir para escribir como fue o que fue. Solo que fue increíble. Benito, Latinoamérica, estás muy orgulloso de ti. Yes, the Latin America are so proud of you. The America are so proud of you. Incredible. Incredible. What a moment. Oh, I love it. Que momento, né, gente? Que momento, eu amei, fiquei super emocionado. E é um dos melhores Super Bowls de todos os tempos, né? Acho que o quê? Primeiro lugar, Michael Jackson, segundo, Bad Bunny. Mas, nossa, foi incrível, incrível mesmo, assim, me emocionei bastante. Muito bonito. Acho que representou muito a América Latina e, enfim, toda a América. Tenho certeza que tá muito orgulhosa dele. E foi um Super Bowl lindo, lindo, memorável. Não tinha escolha melhor pra esse ano. I love it.
Just woke up from so many DMs from people being pissed off about the Bad Bunny halftime show, saying that it wasn't American because they couldn't understand what he was saying. And yes, I'm aware of the All-American halftime show at Turning Point USA. All-American is not white people in cowboy hats praising Jesus. Let's talk about what All-American actually means. America is Puerto Ricans. America is Spanish, English, Spanglish, and all the languages you never learned in school. America is Black people in the Bronx, Cubans from Miami, Mexicans in California, Dominicans in Washington Heights, and the indigenous people who were here long before any of us. America is different religions, different cultures, different rhythms, different stories, sometimes all living on the same block. And Puerto Ricans are Americans, period. They serve in the military, they vote, they contribute to culture, food, music, language, everything people love about America, whether they admit it or not. So when you're saying something isn't American because it doesn't look or sound like you, what you're really saying is that you're very uncomfortable with the way that America actually is.